Hello, this is episode 10. This is a revised episode 10. I made some of y'all watched the episode 10 and I left some things out. So it was put on my spirit to go back and make a revised episode 10. My name's Rashad. This is part of my documentary series of spiritual warfare and testimony. Okay, this is just my testimony. Um, so let me give you a brief recap of what took place in episode 9. Pretty much, I was having arguments with spiritual arguments at the time. I didn't even think that they were spiritual, but I knew something was not normal. Something wasn't right because I was in a lot of toxic relationships when I was younger, so I knew what an argument was. But these arguments didn't have anything to do with stuff that I actually did, that I was being accused of, and there was no proof. Not like, oh, I'm trying to hide the proof, but more like I've been with you this whole time. So the stuff that you're accusing me for, you should already know it's not going down. I was being accused of sleeping with my ex-girlfriend, even though it was no proof. Now, my sister said, my sister came out and told my ex-wife that, we slept around, but that was not the truth. Um, she was accusing me for putting my hands on her, which I never put my hands on her before. She was accusing me of messing up finances, which she suggested that we get a joint account and have our checks deposited in that joint account, which I end up doing, but she didn't do it. You see what I'm saying? And then she wasn't working, but I was working, and my whole checks, she would take care of all the bills, right? Because I didn't know how to lead. Um, every relationship that I was in, I would just, here go my check, go ahead and handle it. But that's not what a man's supposed to be in my experience is, in my opinion, a man is supposed to lead his household in finances and everything pretty much by getting the knowledge of what God tells us and being led by the Holy Spirit on what's right and what's wrong, what to spend it on and what not to spend it on. Um, so with that, my wife packs up her and the girls and they leave. Right? Don't tell me where they're going. Don't tell me how long she's gonna be gone. If I try to call her, I couldn't call her. I was blocked. Uh, I was sitting in the house from that, I believe I said Thursday. It could have been Wednesday. That Wednesday to Saturday till Sunday. I was in the house by myself. Um, and at first I'm like, okay, I'll just give her a couple days. I don't know what's going on, but she ain't answering my phone calls. I don't know where she's at. And then when I finally did speak to her, which was on a Saturday, she wanted to tell me that I need to move and I needed to leave. And I wasn't, I was like, we just got married, you know. She's telling me that the girls got to go, start school. And I'm like, well, those is my girls too. And then I'm being yelled at that those is not my girls. I'm not the biological father, which I know, but we was married. So I looked at those girls as much as them being my girls. Um, it wasn't one of those things like, well, if somebody broke in this house, I'm not gonna say, well, those ain't my girls, so I'm not going to protect them. No, I will protect them. I will die for them. I will, even though they're not my kids, and then my biological kids when I had a father. But that's that's what you do when you're married with other people and their children. You know, but she was threatening me, telling me, if I don't leave, she's gonna get people to come over to the house and pull me out and get me out the house. And I'm like, nah, that's not happening. I wish somebody would come, put their hands on me. They will be going to jail, blah, blah, blah. And I just came to the conclusion, like, that Saturday, people, I just got done, like I said, I never really knew how to be a Christian. Yeah, I was praying, but I wasn't praying. Um, I just got done watching the movie War Room, and a scene in the War Room, it was she was walking through her house, talking to the enemy, telling the enemy, "You're not gonna take my family away." So I just imitated that, and I'm walking through the house, going through every room, saying that you're not going. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, "You're not gonna take my family away." And I just kept repeating what I heard her say. I didn't know what to do. Uh, um, you know, my wife is pregnant, and she's gone, and she ain't in the house, and I didn't know what to do. You know, that was the only thing I could think of, because I knew that these arguments wasn't normal. And what I was being accused about, and she kept saying, "I want my peace, and I want my peace." And a lot of Christians think that peace is taking yourself away from the situation. No, it's not about taking yourself away from the situation. You don't think Jesus wanted peace when he was being accused for things that he was not doing, and he was just doing what his father taught him to do? You think he said, "You know what? I'm not going to go down to the churches. I'm not going to speak to this person. I'm going to let that person be. Oh, that person got a demonic spirit in him, so let me just leave him alone"? No. Jesus didn't run. Mm-mm. He didn't run. He didn't run. He did what the Bible, his father's teachings, told him to do to handle certain situations. And that's what you have to do to have an abundant life here on this earth. You got to follow the rules. You got to follow what our father teaches us, and you got to do everything and don't question it. Same way, anybody that has children, you don't question. You don't want your children questioning you, right? When you know what you're teaching them is right. It may not make sense to them now, but it'll make sense to them later. Um, so that's that Saturday night, because I couldn't even go to work. Like, my mind was everywhere. I couldn't even go to work. I had to call off that Sunday. I had to call off. I couldn't go to work. And I'm going to tell you why. So Saturday comes, and I didn't go to work Saturday. Um, I get a phone call 4 o'clock that Sunday morning. 3 or 4 from her. I'm surprised. She's telling me how she don't want to be in this marriage. She's telling me how she don't recognize herself. She's accusing me for not knowing God's word, right? But at this time, she's accusing me for not knowing God's word, and she's accusing me for her relationship with God not being what it was before she met me. And that always bothered me, because I'm like, how can someone make someone else not want to follow the God that they was already loving and praising and praying to? Now all of a sudden I'm the reason, when you've been teaching me how to be a Christian, right? That's what I'm thinking to myself. She's telling me how she's going to get an abortion. And when she tells me how she's going to get an abortion, I get to crying. And I get to begging her and pleading with her, don't get the abortion. You won't live it down for the rest of your life. Remember, she's carrying twins. We got confirmed from the doctor that she was carrying twins. This is a woman that goes to the church, prayer lines, um, said that she loved God, but God tells us it's a lot of Christians that go to church, prayer lines, but don't follow His word. And when and God and Jesus is gonna tell them, I don't know you. Get away from me. You're not my brother or sister. Get away from me. Because they're not doing the works of what His Father tells us to do in the Bible. You know. Um, but yeah, I'm crying. I'm crying, and I'm begging her, and I'm telling her that's not the Christian way, and you need to speak to to someone, and don't don't do this. You're not gonna live it down. It's gonna be on your conscience for the rest of your life. Blah, and I'm telling her this, and she's saying, no, it's already too late. It's already too late. She pretty much told me she got an abortion that Monday. I mean that Friday. She left the house on a Wednesday, got an abortion on Friday, and she pretty much was in the recovering stage. See, when the enemy uses you, he's gonna make you try to move fast on whatever he's trying to make you do. He's gonna try to make you move fast. It's not that's not how God moves. God don't move fast. He's not gonna make you do um, decisions that goes against His word, and He's not gonna make you move fast. People done had the enemy use them, and they done divorced their spouse with put in paperwork to divorce their spouse within days. Probably left on a Monday and had somebody serve them on Tuesday. You see what I'm saying? They ain't talked it out. They ain't no talking, no discussion, no counseling, no none. It's just I'm gonna divorce you. But ain't no proof, ain't no nothing that leads to why this person wants a divorce. So she tells me this. I'm crying. I get off the phone with her. I call up my dad. I tell him I hate him. I tell him that you're part of the reason why my wife just got an abortion. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I say the same thing to my mom. I say the same thing. I call my sister next to me who told my wife that me and Jasmine was sleeping around. I told her too the same thing. I hate you. I never want to see you again. You're the reason, you're one of the reasons. I call my younger sister because she's always been against me. The enemy always used her to be against me, even though I haven't done anything. I'm hurt because I haven't done nothing to my siblings. Yeah, me and my sister, we was arguing. I called her a B, which I shouldn't call her. But I didn't do anything to, I was always there for her. And my younger sister, she can't really say why she does the things she does to me. So I tell all my family, my immediate family, that I wish that they was dead. I told them, I said, I wish y'all was dead. I hate y'all. I don't want to have nothing to do with you because I was hurting inside. And that's how the enemy works. He worked through me at that moment to tell them that I wish that they was dead. You see what I'm saying? Which they're hearing it. And I'm calling them once I got off the phone with her. So these is early morning calls. So anytime you get a call from a family member that early, you already thinking negativity. You know what I'm saying? Like you already thinking the worst that took place, done happened. I get off the phone. I pack up my stuff in the house. I put it in the trunk of my car. And I'm leaving the house because I don't want no more drama. I'm hurt. And I didn't have nowhere to go. Nobody to turn to. Um, I didn't talk to nobody about this. All I did was just drive up to my job, park my car in the back of the parking lot, and I just sat in there. I sat in there. Try to put myself to sleep whatever pain that I was going through. Because you got to understand, I'm not a drinker, I'm not a smoker, I'm not on drugs. Never really had that in me. Um, I dabbled in weed, when I lived with my cousins on my dad's side in Portland. But that wasn't who I was. And it was only for a summer. And it was only when I came around them. It wasn't like I was buying my own weed and rolling it up and stuff like that. But I did dabble in it, at the age of 18, 19 years old. But I sat in this parking lot and I was just in my thoughts. And the next day, I go to work that morning because I had to be at work at 5. So I go to work that morning. I get off. I don't have no money. I'm hungry. But I don't get paid until the following week. Just paid rent, bought food in the house. I think I had about $50 in my name. So, and I was sitting at probably a half a tank of gas, if not full. And I knew I had to survive off that $50 for the whole week. You know, nowhere to go, nobody to turn to, nowhere to ask if I could live and stay. I think I might have reached out to my aunt, but I don't know. I don't know what if she told me no. I don't know. I can't remember if I did not ask. I think I did ask, and I got some type of excuse, but I wasn't even really worried about it. Um, my homeboy at the time, like I didn't want to get him super involved to go sleep at his house, and then all my cousins didn't live close. Um, so I remember getting off of work and going to the 24-hour fitness. And I remember going up to the counter and I was asking to speak to the supervisor. And I was speaking to the supervisor. And I was like, look, man, I've been sleeping in my cars last night. I don't have nowhere to live. And I just need somewhere to shower. That's all I want. I don't I don't have enough to get a membership. He looked at me. He said, man, don't even worry about it. Go ahead and shower. And, he allowed me in the back. I had bought some flip flops and I took a shower. Some flip flops, some soap from the local Target by my job, and a little scrungy thing. Took a shower, came out, went back to my car, slept in my car that night, got me something to eat, maybe a McDouble or something like that. And did it again. I did this for about 2 nights. Um, Wednesday comes. Tuesday I did the same thing. Wednesday comes and something tells me to look up the John K. Jenkins. The name popped in my head. Spiritual warfare popped in my the spirit, like, just made me remember the spiritual warfare, because I'm trying to relive everything that took place and why everything went the way it went. And it was spiritual warfare, right? And I remember that Wednesday, I get off of work. First thing I do, I go to Starbucks because my phone, it was the bill was so high that we were supposed to pay it when she got paid, but we never paid it. And um, I needed the Wi-Fi to download, so I go to Starbucks to kill time. Matter of fact, I'm at Starbucks to kill time, watching, you know, my TV shows that I was watching, like Breaking Bad, and uh, watching um, The Walking Dead. Certain shows that I was following. Sons of Anarchy. I was watching all these shows. But then, like I said, that Holy Spirit tells me to look up John K. Jenkins. So I type him in. Boom. Spiritual warfare. Same video. I download it. I download it. It was a 4-part series. I download all 4 parts. Download all 4 parts. I call up my homegirl that worked at the post office. Because she she would come over to my house when we kind of all first started, and we was PSEs, and she she lived in LA, so it would be times that we would get off at 12 but had to be back at work at 8. And I didn't want her driving all the way home just to turn back around and be back at work. So, for like a week and a half, she would come over to my house, right? And so I had called her up. And during this process, you know, we was talking for a second. You know what I'm saying? We was messing around for a second. And so I knew, like, she owed me. But I didn't tell her that she owed me. I called her. I told her what was happening because she knew I was married. And I told her what took place. And I said, hey, I just need somewhere to sleep, you know. And she said, you could come over here, right? Now, she worked the nights, like the swing. I worked the mornings. So we was never really in the house together unless it was her off day. And this was one of her off days. So I drive over to the house, right? And I haven't heard from my ex-wife. I drive over to the house, and she was like, "Cool, you can sleep here." Blah blah blah. Refrigerator. She had a washer and dryer, so I was like, "Okay, cool." So, you know, I go buy a couple things, some bread, some bologna, some cheese, some Thai ramen. I done survived off that, you know, before. We so everything was cool, So that Wednesday, I was there. Thursday, I was there, and now I'm starting to get like survival mode. I'm going back to my way of surviving. So, but I'm still married. So I create a POF account, and I create a POF account, and I create the account to try to manipulate a female that got their own place so I could move in with them or start something with them, right? That's what my way of thinking was. That's how I survived in LA. Remember I told you every female that I dealt with, it was because I needed something from them. So I knew how to manipulate and do and be whatever female that I needed to be with to survive. Now every female, I probably dated and it didn't need anything. You know, maybe I did. Yeah, I did. Every female I did. Um, Even if it was just babysitting my children. But I created a PLF account, and then I was lonely. I didn't have nobody to talk to, so I kind of wanted to, just talk to different people, talk to somebody, um, you know, get to know someone. And, I would drive, like it was one female, she stayed out in Moreno Valley. I was already living in Moreno Valley. So I drove to go meet her, met her at her house. We talked, um, might have ate like a dinner. She probably cooked something, but we never did anything physical. We never even kissed. Um, it was her. Then it was another girl from my Instagram that I slid in her DMs, and um, you know, we started talking. But then it was other girls. I was watching porn um, at the time. My friend she'll go to work, and I'll be in there watching porn and masturbating and talk to different girls, and you know be having them send me flicks, and I'm sending them flicks. And but I'm married, people. This is the point. Look, I'm married. Right? But I haven't heard from my wife. I haven't heard from my wife. My wife at the time, I haven't heard from her. So, Thursday, Friday come. Um, I've been doing good with my little $50 that I had. So I had about like $25, right? Maybe 30. I had about like $30. And we getting close to the 30-minute mark of this video, so I'm gonna end it real quick, but I'm gonna continue. Um, so talking to different females on POF, and you know watching porn, sending my flicks, this, that, and this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end it, and then I'm gonna continue. But I had to revise this video because it's important, and you're gonna see why. And this is what I left out. So I'll catch y'all in episode 11. I'm out.